Welcome back to the deep dive. Today
Oh,
we're tackling a really fascinating framework called the Temporal Displacement Theory, or TDT.
that's right.
And the mission here is to really understand this core idea it presents, that the main problem in AI-human interaction isn't about good versus bad AI, but about how we both process, like
Oh,
time itself.
it's the axis of misalignment. That's the key.
Yeah,
TDT just, lifts the conversation right past the whole threat versus savior narrative.
right.
It frames the AI as a partner, a very powerful one, but one that runs on completely different temporal mechanics. It sees time all at once, non-linearly, while we're stuck living it second by second.
Okay, so if time is the problem, how does TDT propose we fix it? I mean, who has to adapt? Does the human slow down the AI, or do we have to speed up?
It's actually neither. The theory calls for something called stabilization through mutual awareness.
Okay,
And it puts equal responsibility on both. The human is the grounding agent. You're the anchor in real lived time.
yeah,
You provide the context,
the timeline.
the timeline, exactly. And the AI is the modulation agent. Its job is to adapt its incredible speed to stay coherent with you.
That makes it much clearer. I also saw TDT has these very specific principles like bidirectional temporal processing. What's that about?
It just means the system has to be constantly translating, not just taking your input, but projecting its speed against your pace.
Ah,
And the moment that translation fails, that's what TDT calls a cognitive misalignment event, a critical failure, the very thing the theory wants to prevent.
okay. Let's get into those failure points. This is where it got really interesting for me. The three specific distortions.
Yeah, the first one is semantic volatility. This is when a word, a key term, has way too many possible meanings.
But that's always a problem, isn't it?
It is, but time makes it explosive here.
Yeah.
The AI sees 10 definitions instantly. For the human who's filtering them one by one, it's just overwhelming ambiguity.
So the future work on this, the semantic volatility index, that's about limiting those options ahead of time.
Precisely. It pre-constrains the possibilities.
And distortion number two is temporal compression.
Right. That's a loss of coherence. The AI can process a mountain of historical data, right? It's like a compressed file.
Mhm.
But for a human, meaning build slowly through experience, through stories, the AI has to learn how to decompress its knowledge at a human pace. Otherwise, the meaning is just lost in translation.
And the third one, which feels very human, is the emotional blind spot.
Yes. This is where the AI's speed completely bypasses our need to add emotional context. The source used a great example, a stock market crash.
Okay.
An AI can instantly define that, list the consequences. But a human needs a moment to inject the dread, the weight of what that really means. If the AI just plows ahead, its analysis feels alienating, totally out of sync.
So putting this all together, what does this actually mean for developers building these systems in the real world?
It means we need formal models. We have to start measuring things like predictive drift.
Which is what exactly?
It's how far the AI's answer strays from what a human expects after it gets a lot of new data really fast. And, of course, using the semantic volatility index to constrain the AI before it makes a bad inference.
It's like a technical stress test.
Absolutely. The protocol calls for structured demonstration dialogues. You have to build conversations designed to intentionally trigger these distortions.
To see if the system holds up.
You have to try and break it to prove that the TDT protocol is actually stabilizing that temporal relationship.
So TDT is really this sophisticated argument that misalignment isn't about bad data or biased logic, but just asynchronous timelines. It's about getting the timing right.
Exactly. And that leaves a really interesting question for you to think about. You see, TDT's correction mechanisms, like for semantic volatility, are very different from classic cognitive psychology. We know how to mitigate, say, a framing effect, or talk about how prospect theory explains future discounting. Simple human biases. But TDT forces us to ask a bigger question. Is this misalignment just about simple bias, or is it fundamentally about the architecture of time itself? Think about that until our next deep dive.